екі.
Hello and welcome to my presentation. I choose profession. My name is Өмірбек Beybarыс. I am from Almaty Polytechnical College. Project manager is Orazымбетова Айнұр Сиденова. A job. A job is a way of getting paid to your hard and trustworthy work. Some people choose their profession as chef to work at a fine restaurant or digital artist to work at a freelance in home. I choose my future profession as a programmer. The history of programming started when ENIAC released their first retro vacuum tube computer, which is a lot complex because it doesn't have any applications in it. And to install the application, they had to manipulate with its circuit boards and had to write a lot of words into a command line. The first 6 brave women to program ENIAC was Frances Byler, Betty Snyder, Ruth Litterman, Kay McNulty, Marilyn Meltzer, and Betty Jennings. They were the first 6 brave women who programmed the ENIAC when the World War II is going on. From the group of 200 people, only these 6 people made it to program it. So, who is a programmer? A programmer is a type of people who can do anything include to a computer. Like programmer can build an application, website, databases, and a lot of work included into computer. Some people think that programming is hard, easy, and etc. So what is the disadvantages and advantages of it? Some of the advantages are programmers have highly salaries and a job satisfaction, and they can work remotely from anywhere they want. But the disadvantages of it, you can typically work in a fast-paced environment. Like if you used to work in a database center, fixing a problem could take days, weeks, or even a month. So where you can learn programming? You can learn programming from schools, universities, colleges like Polytechnical College in Almaty, or the internet, basically everywhere. But learning programming can be very difficult. So I've created my own concept game to teach people to how to web developing. Here's the simple some of the screenshots from my game. Here's the simple menu. Here's the topic of the menus. Here's the tutorial menu. And here's the tutorial stuff. And here's the level selection menu. That's the level itself. And here's a little bit of the overview of the game. This is how game looks like. And let me show you the game itself. That's my second attempt to create a true false based game because first attempt was failed. Here's a simple menu of the game. There you can see why this game created, the authors of it, and the links to the authors of it. Here's the menus of topics. Like if you want to choose the tutorial topic, you simply press the button and select the tutorial topic. If you want to learn JavaScript tutorials, you have to choose one of these buttons, and they will simply open the browser window. The tutorial itself is made in Kazakh language, which is because not a lot of people know English or neither a Russian language. Here's the tutorial itself, and here's the game. There is in a level selection, you choose the topic like, I want to get to a PHP level. Here's how PHP level looks like. There is you given a question and you have to answer it with true or neither or false. After completing the tutorial, you could answer the simple questions like this. I've answered this fact true. with false, which is fact it was false, and I get the correct answer. Like if I answer true to this question, I get wrong answer because the fact was false and I answered the wrong with it. So that's basically it about the game. I can make some reviews on the code. Like that's the how game itself looks like. The game is made in Unity engine with the Kazakh Latin language. Is the animation and button pane is the scripts of it. That's simple one of the levels. I can show you the rest. Here's the JavaScript 2 and 3 level. And that's the code of the game. The game itself uses Game Manager C# script. The Game Manager script lets you create a place in Unity that you can write your own questions and choose if the fact is true or not. And and it has the animation trigger in it that you can choose how long the button will appear in these time seconds, like 1 or 2 in the middle of the second. But programming doesn't only mean that you have to stare at the monitor for 10 hours straight and fix this code. It's not only about that. Programmer could have hobbies like 3D modeling. Like if you want to make a 3D game, you have to somehow learn to 3D modeling, right? And there is a result of it. That's the project text that I made in Blender. Here is the work process in the Blender engine itself. Here's the character that I made and animated in Blender. I can show it later. And here's the wine bottle that I made for a restaurant by freelance. And these two models that I'm currently using in my presentation. Let me show you some of the models. Here is the character that I mentioned before. I made it in Blender engine in 3D and rigged it with the simple cycled run animation. But it's not only about that. Let me show you the other stuff that I made. That's the wine bottle that you've seen in my presentation. Let me open it. Here, that's the wine bottle. Here, the bottle, it looks like in the modeling phase. Here, and that's the almost final result of it. And that's basically it. Thank you for your attention. All I want to say is the profession defines you as a person, and without it, there is no way.